"7:20 a.m., we received a distress call via our emergency number 112767, and immediately we activated our emergency response plan. It involved a luxurious bus that was conveying Lagos State staff officials and a moving train. Immediately, we commenced rescue activities. We are able to rescue 84 alive, and we recovered 3 bodies.
A few minutes after 7 this morning, I heard a sound. Actually, I'm a security guard, so I heard a sound from where I was walking. So I ran outside. As I came out from the beginning of the bus stop here, I saw 3 people down already. They were down already. So I took my phone, I ran to where the BRT stopped. So as I got there, people were videoing. Some people were crying through the window from the BRT. They were crying, help me, help me, help me. So I had to drop my phone for somebody I don't even know. I dropped my phone, then I jumped the gutter, then went inside the BRT. People were actually scared to enter inside the BRT bus because maybe they felt the train might move. So I entered the BRT bus. I saw people dead, but maybe they may be unconscious, but they were not moving. So I saw 5 people down inside. So I tried, before I left the BRT bus, some other people brought like everybody down before I left. So there was nobody inside the BRT before I left. So I went to change. The uniform I'm putting now is a new one. The one I wore was stained with blood.
Well, we don't know because all what we know was that the bus ran into, was on the rail line, and the rail got it impacted. The incident happened.
The BRT picked children from the bus stop here, and when the train was coming, there was a little other shuttle bus. The shuttle bus ran across and crossed the road. So it was like he wanted to maneuver others, because he stopped. I wanted to maneuver others. Then this was what happened. He wanted to maneuver others, and this was what happened.
Which shuttle bus? You mean
No, there was a shuttle bus that passed before the BRT, because that was what he saw before he crossed. Before he wanted, it was like, because the train was not very close to them. So it wasn't very close, it was like somewhere here, and he was there. So he felt maybe he could maneuver before the train could come close. Before you know, it's in I think that thing has magnets. The thing clipped together and crossed the guy.
Well, I think it's obvious that when the train was coming, I think all signals were given just to indicate that the train was coming. So a lot of cars that were supposed to cross, past this junction, did stop. But I heard that the staff bus that carry people to Alausa, the driver had an earpiece, so maybe he didn't hear, but he decided that he was going to beat the train. But unfortunately, when you don't understand the heaviness of of the vehicle, I think he underestimated probably the speed. But what we know is that he got hit, and then he was dragged about 200 to about 250 meters. And we put a team together. I think the investigation is going on just to get specifics on what actually happened. This is one of the junctions that will be shut down once the federal government begin the construction of their overpass. So I know that contract has been awarded, but pending that time, we have a flagman here. We have the necessary safety measures in place just to make sure that we avoid this kind of accident. But the one that happened was quite unfortunate. We will do further investigation. We understand that we have the driver somewhere in the police station, so we'll be questioning the driver just to try and understand what happened, what actually happened. So, but that's the information that we have right now. I'm sure further information will come out after we've done our investigation. And so I will just say that we should wait for us to complete this investigation, and then we'll give further information.
But I just have one question, especially when it comes to safety on the rail tracks, especially now that Lagos State is coming up with more rail tracks, more train corridors. So What are those measures in places to ensure that lives are protected safe?
So what we're trying to
something like this.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is to eliminate the interaction between rail and vehicles, and that's why we're building overpasses. When you go to Ikeja, when you go to Yaba, you go to Oyinbo, and then and Mushin. We have built 4. I think the Agege also we constructed Agege, and then we have 5 others which the federal government will build. I think they finished one, they've commissioned this one, and then there are others that they will build. So once the train is in full operation, you would not have this interaction between vehicles and rail. So those are the measures that we're putting in place, and then this will be fenced off completely for vehicles. So I'm pretty confident that once we complete the project, you won't have this kind of accident. What happened today was quite unfortunate, and we'll do everything possible to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Well, I think the first thing to do is to commiserate with the families of those that have lost people here in this very unfortunate accident. We woke up this morning to this very shocking news. It's quite unfortunate, it's so sad. We pray that God give them the fortitude to bear this irreplaceable loss. For us, I think that it's about time we begin to have a barrier whenever the train is coming, a barrier that would ensure that you don't even have access to cross. In about 2-3 kilometers to that time, put a stop to every vehicular movement around it. And I think this is the kind of responsibility that the government should wake up to and see so that we can save lives. We can't continue like this. We know all the intersections on these rail lines. We should build a barrier that would ensure that whenever train is coming, no vehicular movement around that moment. This is what is obtainable everywhere out there, but I'm sure we're going to get it right. But for today, we have to commiserate with those that have lost their life. I'll be going to the General Hospital now to see some of these victims and see how we can provide succor to assist them.
As emergency management officials clear the scene here in the Ikeja area of Lagos, more questions are being asked on the issue of safety on the rail corridor. Pedestrian and vehicular crossings at intersections in the metropolis where more rail lines are being built.
Where is Moses?
Of the press. I think let's even observe a 1-minute silence to pay respect to the life of our staff this morning that have just happened. So we'll do a 1-minute silence first. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Gentlemen, as you can see, this is a very sober, very sad moment for us as a government and as a people in Lagos State. Whilst we acknowledge that God Almighty is the giver of life, is the one that determines every man's destiny. As human beings, it saddens when we have incidents like the type we have witnessed this morning happens around us. So this morning at about 7:30 in the morning, a bus number 33, which is one of the fleet of staff buses, I think we have in total almost 50 or 60 of them that are public workers, civil servants, staff buses of Lagos State that ferries our staff from different parts of the state to Alausa. This morning, bus number 33, moving from Isolo and heading towards Alausa this morning with 85 passengers, mostly civil servants with a few dependents, because you've seen one or two school children also in it. So they're mostly civil servants, but you know they could have their kids riding with them. Had a very fatal accident at the rail crossing around PW, which is the Shogunle area of Lagos. I imagine they're coming from the express and they made a right turn and wanted to drive over the rail, and we don't know what happened. The driver, I'm told, had handed himself over to the Lagos State Command of Nigerian Police. So he's currently with the police command, and so we have not been able to question or ask further inquiries as to what happened. But initial report shows that it might have been a very wrong judgment call that the driver made. The train must have been clear that, it was obvious that the train was coming, right? And he probably felt he could quickly drive over or something. So it must have been a wrong judgment call, but we do not, know that for a fact. So it's not speculative, but it's only when questions, are being asked the driver who is alive and in police custody that will know the real intent and what led to this accident. We will also be reaching out to the Nigerian Railway Corporation, who are the operator and owner of this rail, right? As into, they will give us their own parts and their own side of the story, with their own, rail drivers, as into what happened, so that we will have, information from both ends. So we have 85 passengers that were in the bus. From the immediate triage, that was conducted and to separate, various degrees of injuries. 42 were classified as moderate injuries. 29 are serious injuries. 8 are mild injuries. And unfortunately, we have recorded 6 fatalities. 2 were brought in dead from the site, and which was what LASEMA, first respondents, talked about. But here in Lasut, we've had 4 additional deaths, at ICU, and some while undergoing the surgery. So that's the breakdown of the entire 85. So we haven't also informed any family members yet, because these are public officers, these are civil servants that were going home. So, we cannot begin to disclose names or anything like that until when families have been contacted. And I want to say that out of the 85, 25 have been treated very quickly, and they've been transferred to our other facilities at Bagara General Hospital, General Hospital in Lagos, General Hospital at Aurelia Agege, and the Tollgate Trauma Center, not far off from here, just so that they can decongest, and profile, the injuries very well. And like I said, what you saw out there is a world-class triage medical, system where emergencies of this scale, of this magnitude, of this number, had to be easily and very quickly profiled out. The tents were quickly set up. It was not there before. They were quickly set up, and they were able to immediately, determine what level of injury were sustained by different passengers. Some have been sent for surgery and theater. Some are in ICU. Some have gone for X-ray, radiology and rest of it. And some obviously have been treated and they are the ward, for further observation. I'm sure during question and answer, there could be one or two additional information that gentlemen of the press, might be asking us. And for me, first, I want to seriously thank the entire staff of LASUT, both medical, non-medical, and students of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital and the College of Medicine of the Lagos State University. I'm very impressed with the level of, commitment, solidarity that has been displayed, all throughout this morning into this afternoon. Everybody, where, immediately responded to the call of duty. And from the report and from what I've seen, I need to also thank them very, very much. We also want to thank all of the public personnel, especially staff of the Lagos State government, who had also turned up very, very quickly to identify their staff, to be able to give them counsel and encouragement, to be able to say to them that all will be well. And that indeed has calmed down a lot of fears and heightened, palpitation here and there. A lot of the patients, were in position of shock, but seeing a loved one, seeing a friend has indeed calmed them down that indeed they've been in an accident and they will be treated and they will get back home to their family. I think it's also important to state that LASUT will be collecting blood donors, so we want to encourage the public who wishes to donate blood to come forward. And because the blood bank that we have, you could see that they've responded immediately very, very well. We are in good supply. We have more than enough blood to take care of all of the patients. But indeed, as is done everywhere, you need to restock back that bank. So that's what we're calling on the general public who meets the medical condition to donate blood, to come forward and just, in their own donate so that we can replenish the bank, the blood bank. Gentlemen of the press, I think given the gravity of what we have seen and that has happened this morning, I will be instructing the head of service to declare an half-day work tomorrow, meaning that by 12 o'clock tomorrow, people should be asked to leave work so that we can jointly mourn our staff, our loved ones, people that needs to be taken for burial and rest of it in Lagos or even outside Lagos. They can be followed with, and so it will just be a short day tomorrow. And I've also instructed that all our flags, Lagos State flags, political flags, should be, raised, and half mast for the next 3 days. We're actually also declaring, a 3-day, mourning for us as a state, so that we can mourn our staff very, very well, deeply, and we can have time to go around the family members and just, commensurate with them. I will also be suspending my campaign for the next 3 days. There will not be any form of public engagement or any form of campaigning during this period, so that we also can join a family in the morning. I think it's also important that I commend and put on record that two of my other competitors, fellow candidates in other parties, I'm told that Mrs. Gbadebo Rose Vival has been here, and as well as Mr. Olajide Adeniro. I want to thank them and commend them, for their show of commitment, beyond politics. These are human beings. These are public servants that they or myself want to superintend over. So I want to thank them very much, for coming here. And I want to encourage, all other public-spirited Lagosians, Nigerians, to join us, in this very, very difficult moment. This is a very, very, very sad moment, for us. But we believe and we have seen that Lagos has a capacity to also come out, very difficult and unfortunate incidents. You could see the response from the Lagos State Emergency Response Team. The entire scene of the accident has been cleared. You know, the wreckage of the bus have been taken away because of the level and the sophistication of equipment that they have. And I'm happy, and I want to commend them too, you know, for their capacity as first responders. And I think, you know, it just further shows that the city is a resilient city. It's a city that can also still work for all of us. And like I said, to commend, you know, the medical staff, the first responders, the doctors, the nurses, the pharmacists, you know, the engineers, everybody, and LASUT, and also, of course, the security operatives. You know, I'm told the AIG, the CP, all of them have been here, and they are, you know, supporting, you know, local security operatives to ensure that law and order is restored, right? And, you know, whilst we mourn, we will also, you know, ensure that people can't go about their normal, you know, daily life, you know, without any form of hindrance. So, gentlemen of the press, that's the brief that I have now. We'll just ask if there are one or two additional clarification of questions that you might have. Thank you.